Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dialar's Tactics. In this video, I'm going to be going over a kind of a new tier list. We're going to call it the wish list tier list. Why are we going to do this? You may ask. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, as you're all aware, the developers have given us possibly one of the best things they've ever given us in this game, and that is this wish list summoning system. So if you did not know, you can basically select who you want to pull from. No longer do you have to constantly be getting a million Morgans, Chivalry 25, go into waste, Shard Shop currency only. Now you can pick and choose, and you will make every single special summon count. But you can only pick 4 at a time. So what I was thinking was, I would put together a little bit of a wish list tier list, right? Christmas wish list, whatever, Amazon wish list. This is going to be geared for like a new account in mind. So I'm going to kind of give you guys direction towards, if you're brand new to this game, who should you have in your wish list first and why. And then I'm going to go over the other like second, third, fourth, and fifth tier of heroes, why they are ranked where they are. And that should give you an idea how to basically give yourselves a nice little roadmap on the heroes to get that'll help you in this game to its most efficient maximum benefit. Okay, so if you didn't know how this works, obviously you cannot have an empty tier list. I tried it. Whoa. I tried this. Click the right button there, Dialar. Up here. Oh, okay, so it is empty. But what you can't do is say I just wanted. I have only 2 of you, and I only have 2 of you. So I can't have a partial wish list. A partial wish list. You can only have 4 or nothing. So right now, as you see, my roster's kind of stacked. I'm going to go for these, which are my lowest chivalry heroes. And then let's go with a 9th on Gawain, right? So those are all of my lowest chivalry heroes. So if you're just starting this game, who should you put up in your wish list that's going to help you maximize your progression as you play King Arthur Legends Rise? Now, to show you that, we're going to go over to my handy-dandy spreadsheet, which is linked in the description. I have made a new tab on the spreadsheet called Wish List Priorities. You can see it down here at the bottom. Now, let's blow this up a little bit so we can actually talk about it and you don't have to squint. How about... let's try to get it centered nicely. There we go. But I'm covering up my little fancy wish list Amazon bracket. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for saying Amazon a million times in this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, who should be the first 4 heroes that you have in your wish list if you're just starting the game, or even... no, we'll just say just starting the game. So, obviously, going from left to right for most importance, Tier 1, the first tier, if you were just to start this game yesterday, this is who you should put in your wish list. This will get you through a ton of content. Now, I know we have a whole bunch of dungeons that are very element hero specific. We'll kind of discuss that. You know, you have element specific feats or achievements in the story mode in order to 3-star everything. We know that there's elemental affinity dungeons, so the elemental affinity is going to play a factor. But if you just get Nika, who is the #1 most important hero in the game, I think you should leave her in your tier list until she is Chivalry 8. As soon as she's Chivalry 8, pop her out. Don't leave her in there. Don't touch her until she's C8. Then you can remove her. But believe me, some of these other heroes you can pull out a lot quicker. Now, Morgan. I think you're going to get the most bang for your buck on Morgan, and I know the game's going to give you Morgan for free at the start, right? You know, you, me, your goldfish, your cat, your dog, everyone's going to get Morgan on that first 10 pull when you're starting this game, but she becomes much better and much more effective in your account when she gets up to Chivalry 3. So what you could do is you could leave her in there till Chivalry 3, and then pull her out and get a single copy of another hero you don't have that might help you progress in different dungeons. Or you can leave them there until they're all C10 and then move them out. Your procedure or your qualifications for removing them from the list and sliding in other heroes, I'll leave that up to you. But this is a basic guide. Anya. leave her in the leave her in your wish list until she is C4. As soon as she's C4, she's going to gain some of your maximum benefit. Let's go show you why. Okay, so Anya, if we go look at her chivalries, once she gets to C4, you're going to see that her Torrent of Mana, which is one of her passive, the skill effect triggers upon counterattack. Now, this is what's going to change your Anya into meh into oh my god, how did she touch me so hard? So that's why I say leave her in there till C4. And then Morgan, right here, Squall of Thorns, C3. It changes one of her passives to a conditional effect of when attacking versus, I think it was just using your basics. So she definitely transforms at C3. Nika, which we kind of discussed, you do have to leave there up until she's C8, because then this basically makes every person that you have on your team act as if they have a vigor set on them, even though they won't, but they will generate 2 vigor per turn. So Nika, leave her on there till C8, Morgan till C3, Anya until C4, and then the next one on the list is, ladies and gentlemen, is Iwaret. All right, so the reason why I have Iwaret on this list is before Caliban Arthur, we're just going to call him Carther. Before Carther came into the game, Iwaret was the biggest DPS, or the highest DPS character in the game. You could make an argument that Anya can keep up or do more, but if you're just talking like straight point and shoot and do a lot of damage, Iwaret's going to be that person for you. Plus, you're going to get some synergies with having Nika and Morgan and Iwaret on there, because Nika has specific serpent synergies in her kit. Now, what chivalry should you leave Iwaret in your wish list until? Well, let's go look at the chivalries. So let's move the old noggin down here. So at C3, he's going to get this one, reduces the skill turn down by 100% chance to grant each Serpent's ally effect accuracy for 2 turns. That is good when you pair him with Morgan. And then, unfortunately, you're not going to get the big whammy until C8. So I would probably recommend leaving Iwaret in your wish list right off the bat until she is C8, because that's when you're going to see the most transformational effects from her chivalries. So there is a caveat, though, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're starting the game, if you're watching this video and you're starting the game and Arthur and Brennan are in the pool, I would probably swap out Carther for Iwaret and then just move Iwaret down. And then I would still probably say Nika, Morgan, Anya, Carther, but I would definitely go something like this, and I would definitely want to put Brennan in here probably before Lancelot, and then everyone else is going to shuffle down. So, but we know that Brennan's not going to be in the common pool for another couple weeks, and then Carther's going to be coming in roughly 5 weeks' time from the recording of this video, because a hero goes into the summoning pool 6 weeks after initial release. But as of today, as of the time of this posting, these two are currently not in the pool. And then if you look down here, Sergius and Florentius cannot be put in the pool because they are arena store champions only. Okay, so the first and most important tier, ladies and gentlemen, the first tier of your wish list should be Nika till C8, Morgan till C3, Anya till C4, Iwaret until C8. But remember, if Carther is in the pool, Carther is going to take priority. Carther, you want him up to C5, I do believe. Let's go just double check, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you guys the good information. Yes, you want to get him up to C5. Brennan as well. All of their main effects are on the left side. You can just leave them in your wish list until C5. Okay. So that is probably the most important section of this list. And just these four and these two, which are coming later, are going to push you well into the late mid-game content-wise in this game. You should be able to just throw them into content, blow through story, blow through adventure. Now, when we get to dungeons is going to be a little more specific. And this second tier is kind of dungeon-specific heroes. So, Guinevere. The reason why Guinevere is first on this list is you need her. She is the cheat code. There are less useful heroes that can kind of do what she does. But we all know, if you've been playing this game for a little bit, that Guinevere is needed for Crom Crotch, basically in 10-7, in story normal, hard, and hell, but also in the not the Forbidden Dungeon, the whatever the dungeon is where you get your skill books. Skill books are going to be very, very important in this game. Guinevere is going to allow you to get that more easily, which is why I would say as soon as someone like Morgan is up to C3, maybe pull her out and slot Guinevere in. Now, if you get heroes along the way, if you pull them, cool. Again, this isn't perfect. This isn't this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, because you are going to be... Actually, no, I take that back. You aren't going to be pulling heroes in this new wishlist system. You can pull additional heroes on the rate up banners, because the rate up banner hero will have a selection of 4 other legendaries that you can pull. Now, I don't think those can be pulled. In fact, they cannot be pulled on the rate up tickets. So the rate up pool is going to be determined by the developers. That'll come on the patch notes. We'll talk about it. So that is the only way that you might get other heroes that are not on your wish list while you're pulling in other areas of the game. So Guinevere, you really only need 1 copy and then she'll be fine. But Guinevere is a great hero in PvP. She's very, very good. She's very, very useful. She has a really, really good kit for a tank. So she was definitely going to be first on the second tier. Now, Lancelot is very, very good in the Gorgos dungeon. Do you need him in the Gorgos dungeon? No. Do you need him in the Pedarge equipment dungeon? Yes. That is currently the hardest equipment dungeon in the game. And having Lancelot, given all of the synergies around burn effects in Pedarge's Sanctuary, it behooves you to get a Lancelot, just a couple copies, like say up to C3. Generally, C3 is kind of where you want to get these heroes to. And then maybe you can think about somebody else. But Guinevere, then Lancelot, up to like C3, then now Tristan. Tristan's going to be used in a couple different places. He's going to be used in the Penvid dungeon right off the bat. That's going to be open up for you right away if you're a new player. And he's going to carry you through that right until you're going to use him every day in that dungeon. Also, there's a new boss in the Halls of Conquest, the steel-flanked Penvid or something like that. He is not that great there, but you can use him there. Before Carther, he was one of the biggest burst single target damages. Now, Iwrit, she's really, really good at single target in Frost and AoE in Fire. But Tristan, once you get him up, like really developed him, he can one-shot heroes, just point and shoot and kill. So he's a decent hero. I would definitely recommend him in the second tier of heroes that you go for. Now, don't shoot me, it is surprising, but Cloudus is on this list. The reason why is because recently our boy Sergius here got a big old wet nerf and has rendered him almost useless. While about a month prior, our girl Cloudus got a buff. So now Cloudus is going to be one of the main heroes in your Tarask power-up dungeon. She's got a Tarask lead. She's got a attack gauge disruption ability on her S1 and her S2. I use her now in endgame on my Tarask team. You're going to want to too, which is why she's on here. Because Tarask, he is annoying. He's become a little bit more difficult. Cloudus, say like a Cloudus with a Morgan, with a Nika, with a Iwrit, can get you through that dungeon right up until level 10. But now my team, if I was going to show you my team currently is Merlin, Fire Merlin. So it's Carther lead, Fire Merlin, Morgan, and it's Cloudus lead. Cloudus lead, Fire Morgan, Fire Arthur, Fire Merlin, and that gets that dungeon done in like 20 seconds. So that's why Cloudus is up here. Who knew? Who would have thunk it? Cloudus, second tier. This is the only place you're ever going to hear me say that. But this hero is going to help you in Tarask. This one's going to help you in Penvid. This one's going to help you in Gorgos and Pydarge. And Gwen is going to help you in a bunch of different places, and most specifically the Cromcrotch battles. So first tier, second tier. Now, if we're talking about chivalries, let's go back to the game and let's talk about this second tier. So, like I said, Guinevere, she doesn't need too much, right? Romantic reversal, stacks, that's not a big deal. The majority of why she is useful is actually in this, it is her P1. So this romantic reversal basically makes you immune to abnormal status immunities, meaning you can't be CC'd, and in Cromcrotch's case, you can't be eaten. So really, you only need like one copy of Guinevere to make her do what you need her to do in Cromcrotch. Next on that list was old Lancey boy. Now, really, you don't need a whole bunch of chivalries in him. So, what's the C3? 100% independent chance to inflict lightning strike on each enemy. Yeah, I know his C8 is decent, but really, you only really need to get him up to, I'd say about C4, because this is going to increase the duration of his dots for that Pydarge and for that Gorgos. So, Guinevere, you can pull her out at C0 after you get your initial copy. Lancelot, I would say C4 is kind of the minimum, to future-proof your account going forward. Tristan, you don't really need Tristan that high. I would say C3 is fine. I had my Tristan at C3 forever. Of course, you're not going to see the big bada booms until he's at C8. But if you want to get some other heroes, you can pull him out at C3. And then Cloudus, I don't think you need her that up there. Like her, what's this? 100% chance to grant hit accuracy, all allies. You don't really need her that high. I would say, what's this? 35% chance to charge this hero's attack gauge by 100%. And then, so C3, right? This is going to make her go over and over and over and over again. And this one also, when attacking, 100% chance to charge attack gauge by 10%. That can help in Tarask as well. So for Cloudus, probably C4, a lot like Lance. Can you get away with something less? Probably. If you want to get just a couple copies and then pull her out and go for someone else, that's fine with you. But I would say if you want to make Tarask a little bit easier on you, then leave her in until she's at least C4. Okay. So, basically, let's rehash. First tier, these ones are going to carry you through everything, or like 90% of the content. Second tier, this is going to actually help you excel in some of the dungeons in the game. Do you need them before these ones up here? Hell no. Hell no. And then, let's talk about the third tier. Now, this is more supports. They're not healers, but we're going to call them, they have supporting functions, and they do have some niche uses in your roster that'll help you going forward. Lancelot and Lot. Not Lancelot. Merlin and Lot. I would say that these two are some of the best control units in the game. Merlin with his, and we're talking Frost, with his freeze, his AoE freeze on his S3. Lot, you do need to get Lot's fire weapon, but now with the changes to the relics as they're in the summoning system, or in the summoning pool, and in the shard shop, you can get his fire relic a lot quicker if you have an eye, if you're looking out for it every day. So I'd say just in their base relics, which every hero on here is in a base relic, I would say Merlin is more important than Lot. And in fact, I would say just in the base relic, Lot would be back here. But if you can get his fire relic, I would definitely say that he would almost be tie for Merlin for effectiveness and placement on this list. So Merlin, you don't need him that high. Lot, you don't need him that high as well. Clarison, I think you do need her up to C4. We'll go look in game. And then Ceres is up here because Ceres is a PvP unit. So her lead revolves around the arena, revolves around CVC. And that is going to be the two primary places where you're going to use her, is a PvP. But she is very, very effective at what she does, and I think that your roster would benefit more from slotting her in around now at this point in development than any of these other heroes, because you can run her lead, and that'll be your primary team in CVC. Even today, it's either a Nika lead, a Brennan lead, or a Ceres lead in Arena. I myself run Ceres lead, but you do want to get her Fire Relic, but you can run her in Wind for the time being as you're just starting out. So Merlin, Lot, Cloudus, and Ceres. Let's go into game, and let's see around where you want to get them up to for Chivalries. And I think I will mix and match this around, and I will put their Chivalry levels beside the heroes so that it makes it a little bit more visually easy to follow. So Ceres, she really becomes effective. Obviously, the majority of the heroes in the game are really going to become effective as C8. So, but, that's a tall order. So let's say here, C4 is the minimum that you're going to want to leave her in your tier list or your wish list and get her up to. All right, now let's look at Merlin, who is best in fire, but you're going to have him in frost. I don't remember any of his chivalries. That's how forgettable he is. But let's start going down here. So this one, Eternal Flame, increases the amount of HP restored when an ally is revived. No one really cares about his revive. It really doesn't. It's not reliable. This one right here is probably even this one you don't need. Like, really? What does this do? When weather is day, target recovers 2 HP or 2% HP every turn. You really only need one copy of him. Like, none of these are fantastic, right? This one, okay, 100% infinite chance to remove debuff dot or abnormal stats from each ally. Obviously, that's this passive when using skill 2 while current HP is 50% or higher. So that can be useful, but is it necessary? No. So with Merlin, I'd say C0 is fine. Now let's look at old Lot. Where does Lot again, really, really, really shines once you get him up to C8, but that's going to be a tall order. So I'm going to say right here, C4. Obviously 100% chance. This is going to give you amplification, which is going to allow one of your allies to generate more vigor, and then he has a chance to inflict depletion on the enemy, which is going to reduce their vigor. So C4 is where I'd probably leave Lot in your wish list before you pull him out. And then Clarison minimum needs to be C3 or C3, right? Minimum C3. This is when using skill 2. It's going to give you that big 40% attack gauge boost to your whole team, and you're going to give everyone this crit strike damage increase 2 for 2 turns. Yes, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So C3 for Clarison before you pull her out. All right, this video is going long. I got to snap to it. Snap. All right. So after you get, obviously first tier, second tier, third tier, after you get all these heroes up to a certain point of development, now it's time to widen out that roster, right? And how are we going to do that? We're going to add more healers, and we're going to add another big old damage healer in Bedivere. Oh, how the king has fallen. Bedivere would have been at the top of this list before Iwaret and Carther, but sadly, he's been dethroned. So, Jillian as well. She used to be right up there in God tier triple S ranking on my tier list, and now she has fallen. Vivian, is she needed anywhere? No. Can she be used in places? She can be used in Pedarge. She can be used in Gorgos. But is she needed anywhere? No. She's not needed. Whereas, Jillian, she does have big single target heals and AoE heals if you get her Frost Relic. But in Fire, she's obviously going to heal really well, single target. But she's also going to control the attack gauge on both sides of the fields, depleting attack gauge on your enemy's side and granting attack gauge on your side. So now is when you're going to spread out your rosters. So in places like Hall of Conquest, where you need more damage healers, you need more healers, you're going to really gain the most benefit from this. Although, is it necessary? No, you could probably run like Tristan, You don't even, well, you do need a healer. But remember, we also have rares that aren't on the wish list. So you can run a Turin as a healer in the Penvid in Hall of Conquest. You can run, then you're going to run Nika in the middle guy. Can't remember what he's called at the top of my head. He's the Viking, hunger guy. And then over on the right side, Talos. Now you can run one of these other healers. But if you don't have one of these other healers, if you're brand new to the game, just run like a Sarah, right? A rare healer. They'll get you by until you get these guys up all and rolling. So I'm not going to go into in depth, like a couple copies, like say up to C3 on all of them, and then you can kind of pull them out. And then the 5th tier, when you have all of these up top here, now this is just the vanity. Let's fill out the roster. Sigrun, there was a time and a place where she was decent, but is she needed for anywhere? No. The only place where she is absolutely required that I can think of off the top of my head is in Clan Raid Stage 30. She's a required bonus hero for bonus points. But if you're just starting the game, you're not going to care about that. That's not going to make or break you. And can she be used in places in this game? Yes, she can be used, but she doesn't have to be. If you have these 4 up here, right? Iweret, Morgan, Nika, and say even like Clarison or like Anya, that's going to get you through Yaskelhaig, which is going to be your primary place of getting gear until you move up the other gear dungeons. Obviously Ice is going to be better, but between these 4, they're going to be able to do enough damage to get you through it. So yes, I know Sigrun was kind of early game made for Yaskelhaig. Is she needed there now? No. Gilroy. Poor Gilroy. Is he needed anywhere right now? Absolutely not. He is a pure vanity item. Can you fit him into some places and do some cool things with him? Yes. But it's completely unnecessary. The only time you're going to want him is if you're at the tippity top of the iceberg, if you're at the tippity top of the CVC brackets, and you need you need 7 teams of good heroes. Okay, then you're going to use him. But otherwise, if you're just starting out this game, you're not going to need him for like 6 months down the road. He was built for Aldry. You don't even need him for Aldry. Aldry is just going to be Morgan, Rare Arthur, Tristan, and Turin, and that's going to get you through it. Actually, not to start. To start, you're going to use Akalan, Morgan, Tristan, and Turin, something like that. That's going to get you through it. Gawain, vanity item. You don't need him really for anything. And Charlotte, they put her in the game. She was supposed to be for Pedarge's Sanctuary, and then it turns out she kind of sucks in it. She kind of sucks at it. Pedarge's Sanctuary is Nika lead, Anya, Lancelot, and Carther. If not Carther, then Fire Morgan or Wind Morgan can work. But they built her for that. They need her. So, ladies and gentlemen, as of, there we go. What's today? May 7th. The time of this recording, posted May 8th. I would say that this is your wish list, your wish list tier list. I don't know why my brain stuttered there, but it did. This is going to be it. I think this is a clear, easy, nice path to get you through there. Obviously, if you're late game, you're just going to be putting in whoever you need to top up to C10 for your chivalries, like myself. Again, caveat, when Brennan comes in here shortly, I would probably go something like this. I would probably remove Arthur and then shuffle these down. Why? Because you don't need Lancelot to kill Gorgos. You can use the old team, which was, let me remember now. So it was Rosier, Anguish lead, Rosier, Isolde, Dejaret, the common. That can get through Gorgos 10 just as easily. Lancelot, obviously, he just has other uses in the game, but once Brennan comes into the game, I would shuffle Lancelot out, and I would probably move him down here. Let's throw him somewhere around, I don't know. Somewhere in here, somewhere. One could argue that you would want him over Ceres. Maybe move Ceres down because you're probably not going to be focused on PvP too soon. So This is something like when he comes into the game, which is going to be shortly. We'll just leave Lancelot there for now. And then Carther is obviously going to take Iwerit's place as soon as Carther comes into the game. So with all that in mind, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I will tweak this a little bit. I will shuffle this around, and underneath each hero, I will put their chivalries needed, or chivalries that are most effective to maximize them, so you can have them in your wish list, and then it'll tell you when to pull them out. So if you have any questions, I hope this was useful, ladies and gentlemen. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them down in the comments section below. I didn't prepare for a safe word of the day, so like I do, I'm just looking around my desk. What can I grab? Okay, let's grab this. What is this? This is a $25 co-op gift card. All right. Ta-da. That's horrible. Okay, no, we're not going to use gift cards. That's dumb. How about this one? Hair thingy. Because my wife left her hair thingy on my desk. Hair thingy. Put that down in the comment section below. I'll know you made it 30 minutes into this video. You listened to this whole Canuck ramble. Tell me your thoughts on my list, where it's wrong, where you would make some tweaks, yada, yada, yada. Hope you're still enjoying the game, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, cheers, peace, bye-bye.